Okay, next part. Now we're going to talk about anonym and winds. What is anonym? Clouds. Tana. We need the brighter. This is the brighter, the shevach, when you say the praise of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, be'avim ubruchot. What is avim, David? Yeah, how do you know? You cheated? Well, no, no, I said anonym, it's avim now, okay? You see what's the difference? I don't know. Lo chiyavu chayamim lehaskir. Hashem did not made us to say, Mefarashim, they say like, the Mashiv Haruach Kasher Avim, there's no such thing in the Tefillah. We have to talk about the clouds. We don't say it. Ve'im ba lehaskir, but if you come and mention it, maskir. You could do it. It is not considered hefsek. It's not going to be considered interruption in your tefillah. You want to do it, no problem. This is all the time you need them. Okay? The ruach all the time. Let's see. My tama, mishum de lo matzre. They're always there. Whole year round. Okay? You have it. I heard a nice Devar Torah about anonym, the clouds. They say tefillah is like clouds, like anonym. How? Sometimes, how does anonym work? The sun goes on the water, evaporated, become anonym. Okay? But it does not rain the same place. It might go somewhere else and rain somewhere else. So tefillah is like this. You daven for something. I need a wife. I need the money. I need this and that. It doesn't work. But it's gonna go rain somewhere else in your life. Your tefillah doesn't get wasted. Your tefillah gonna be used for something else. You don't think, you know what? It was I davened for no reason. That's not true. Your tefillah maybe didn't work here. You didn't become a millionaire. But Hashem send you the tefillah now you have. Baruch Hashem, refuah shelema. It's gonna be very interesting. Right? No, it's gonna be for you. It's gonna be for you. But the tefillah, you daven, nothing get wasted. Don't think, sometimes you see this person who daven arvit, the Kohen, you know him, right? He comes here, something Shabbat morning. Hamadani Kohen, the Kohen, the old guy. His son passed away. That is your side tonight. He had a son a few years ago. He passed away. He was very young. Very young, yeah. So they daven so much for him, so much tefillot, so much. You don't understand. But what happened to all the tefillot? So Hashem take those tefillot, they use it somewhere else. For them, Bezat Hashem, it should be a lot of simcha, Bezat Hashem. Okay, so now we're gonna go further. So what we're saying over here, if somebody wants to mention it, no problem. Okay. So Gemara asks a question now. You telling me that the anonym, the clouds, and the ruchot, the winds, they're not gonna be stopped. All the time you have them. Gemara asks a question. You're telling me they're not gonna stop? It's always there. Rabbi Yosef. We have a Braita that Rabbi Yosef, here in the Braita, that the Parashah says, if you Torah, v'haya im shamuah. We say it every day. In the Shema, v'charaf Hashem bachem, v'asar et hashamayim. What does it say over there? That HaKadosh Baruch Hu stops the shamayim, the sky, min ha'avim ha'richot. Once again. So from the avim, from the clouds, and ruchot winds. The Gemara asks a question now. The Braita actually. Ata omer min ha'avim min haruchot, o ena ela min ha'matar. What does it mean? We say every day in the Shema v'hayim shamoa, but the pasuk says ve'asaret hashamayim. Okay, very nice. So that's the question of the Keshahu omer v'lo yeh matar. Maybe only the wind. The rain. Hare matar amur. Mo'ani mekayem ve'asaret hashamayim. min ha'avim umin haruchot. So how does he learn the pasuk? Let's see. Look at the pasuk inside. Pasuk, we say it every day, at least twice or more, huh? So what we're talking about, we are not listening to Hashem. Everything has a consequences. If Jewish people they don't listen to Hashem, Hashem says, you know what, you're gonna get punished. Don't think you're not gonna be unpunished. The pasuk says, "V'charaf Hashem bachem v'asar Hashomayim." The Hashomayim is gonna be stopped, and Gemara understand the brighter the second thing, v'lo yematar. So how? What does it mean that says v'asar Hashomayim? It cannot be rain because it says already the next part, v'lo yematar. Means v'asar Hashomayim. So Gemara, so far the brighter understand we are talking about the wind and the anonim, the clouds, and they're not going to be rain. So you see from the brighter says that also the wind and the clouds, they're going to be stopped. They're not going to be there. Verse Hashomayim. Kasha ruchot aruchot. So I don't understand. So how does it work? Kasha avim avim. So we said they don't stop. Over here we say stop. How does it work? Which one is it? You just told me before we learned the Braita that you could mention the avim and ruchot all the time, and there is no shiur for it. There is no obligation for it because they're always there. You see from the Braita that they also stop. You see from the Shema Israel. So Gemara answered the question. Gemara says, Avim and Avim, lo kashya. There is no question from there is no satira. There is no contradiction between the anonim when it comes to the clouds. Ha bechorfe, ha be'afle. When we learn the Braita that we're talking about anonim, we talked about the clouds. One of them talking about the winter. The one of them talking about the afle, which is afle means. What does afle mean, David? Huh? Summer? Yeah? Well, chorfe means the winter, right? Okay. Okay. Huh? Okay. So what does it mean late? After the rain? That's what it means?
No, after there's early winds and late winds. Like talking about clouds.
We have the clouds right now. First we're talking about the avim. Okay? Avim lo kasha. Okay? The first Braita is talking about the chorfe, which is talking about the anonim, the clouds before the rain comes. That always there. Okay? The second Braita is talking that the after the rain, there are some anonim, some clouds after the rain. They work a little bit. They don't have so much power. Those sometimes you can't find them anymore. They don't there, so they're gonna stop. Okay. Ruchot aruchot lo kasha. Also, there is no satira. There is no contradiction between we have over here the two, basically the braitas, the winds. There's no question either. Had in the first braita beruach metzuya. That's something a ruach metzuya. The common, normal, right? Normal. The wind is there all the time. Ha beruach she'ena metzuya. If the hard wind, strong winds, they are not around all the time. Sometimes they stop. Okay. So Gemara asks a question. Ruach she'ena metzuya chazya levedare. Okay.
You saw the abnormal wind in the threshing floor.
What do you mean? Well, which one are you talking about? Chazya levedare. What do you understand? What does chazya mean? What does chazya mean? So over here, chazya mean it helps, it works, it's good for the beidare. What is beidare? Threshing floor. Very nice. What threshing floor is? Okay. So, okay. Do you know how the process goes in the farm back then? So when basically you have grain, you want to separate the grain from the kelipa, from the layer on the top. First they press them, they get separated. What they do afterwards, they throw them in the air. The wind comes, they get separate the bad part, the very light part, the layer, and the rest unit comes down. So Gemara says we need the strong wind all the time because we want to when we want to use it in the farm, so it cannot be stopped. How are you telling me that kind of wind is gonna stop sometimes?
Because that it's considered Mitsuya then, because it's normal.
No, it's not Metsuya. The Metsuya, when you say the Ruach, the wind, which is Metsuya, is there all the time. We are talking about a wind is very slow. Yeah. How do we know? Gemara Sukkah. Gemara Sukkah talks about when you make the basically the walls, the walls of the Sukkah, they should stand in the front of the regular wind. They don't fall off. There's always wind, okay? But right now outside there's a wind, but it's not so strong. That's always there. But the strong one, Gemara says, sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. So now Gemara asks a question, what do you mean? We need that wind. We cannot do the process in the farm without the strong wind. Are you telling me it's not going to be there? The Gemara says, Efshar benafata. You don't need the wind. You could use what is nafvata? What's a napa? Right. You could use a sifter for the farm. You don't need the wind all the time. You think these days in the farms they're using the wind? Not anymore.
It's when you're growing, yeah. Oh, not for that.
For that, they do the process in the factories, in all the machines they have. So you don't need it. It's not necessary. So we solved the problem. They had two brighter. We talked about the wind, and also we talked about the what do you call it? We talked about the wind and the avim, the clouds. Sometimes some of them, the one before the rain is there all the time. The one after the rain is not there all the time. We scan the wind also. So basically, there is no question over here. Okay, stop here. It's a good place to stop. Tana ha'avim va'aruchot sheniyot lamotar. You know where it is? Over here. Okay, we stop. We continue the tomorrow's session. Okay, so we're doing halachot of borer. So we're going to talk about you want to get the food from your fridge. Okay? You have certain foods in your fridge next to each other. They're not considered me'uravim, mixed. So you could take whatever you want.
Why do we think that they are Arabim? Because they're both in the fridge?
Next to each other. But we said before the Sepharim is a question. They will have the books next to each other. Sepharim also in the Madaf, we have in the bookshelf also, they're not considered mixed. You could see which one is which one, they're not considered mixed. Now what you want to do, you want to take certain food from the fridge, no problem. Now, so when it comes to certain, let's say different kind of cheese, okay, and next to each other, they are mixed, there might be a problem. You have to follow the halachot of the borer. Which one you taking? You're taking the good one and use it right away. So I don't know. We have focused on this.
Well, if you have a dough and a cheese dough, and you have a few different cheese, each one in its own package.
That's gonna be not gonna mix. But sometimes they are so close to each other, they're mixed. Maybe it's gonna be a problem. Each case could be different. It depends how how you do it. Sarikh Yun. Right. If you want to know more about it, invite me to your house. Yeah. So let's see what else we could do over here. It gets very technical over here.
We didn't talk about the carpesiot.
It's later. It's later. We're not there yet. So they have a good amount of the. Yeah. You know what it is?
The money donation, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna get to it. Okay. What is I'm gonna they say you could help me, Avi. Is it gonna be into some Hebrew words? Maybe I don't know. Matsui Shafta Hakfa'a Ne'eramim Devarim Belisede Vemuravim Yachad לכן צריך להיזהר שלא יוציא דברים מתוך התערובת אלא על פי כללי היתר של מלאכת הבורר. What is this Shafta Hakfa? Hakfa means the freezer, right? Beta? How do you read it? What Shebeta? What does Shebeta means?
It's like freezer.
Oh yeah? Oh, very nice. So the ta is part of the freezer. Okay, very good. You learned one word today. So, no, I thought the hakfa means on the freezer. He says no. The ta hakfa both together means the freezer. Okay. He says, "Ots yesh lizayer." You have to be careful. Shem nimsaim beta hakfa ochlim shem begeder mukse. Now, this is very important things. A lot of foods could be mukse on Shabbat. You cannot touch them. Like what? Kegon dagim she'enam mevushalim. If you have certain, basically, fish, they are not cooked. Because you cannot eat it on Shabbat in mukse. You cannot touch them.
Almost everything in the food.
Okay, let's see a good question. شاید ایزای شل تعتنا ولی به درک آیت عباری به علاقات مکسه. That's علاقات مکسه. You learn the علاقات مکسه what to do. Okay. So what do you have in freezer? Huh?
Frozen food.
Okay. Frozen food is not mukse.
No, but usually stuff that is not cooked.
Okay. So it depends what you have. Basar, meat is a machloket.
Why?
Okay. So used to be that they used to eat meat without cooking it. So according to Shulchan Aruch, really, basar is not mukse. Which is Harav Adia also, he holds that the meat is not mukse. Others ask question on Shulchan Aruch, like Benishkan and others. These days nobody eats the meat like this. Okay, so it should be mukse. How is it possible? How can you do this? You're not doing it. Do you know anybody eats the meat the way it is? Not cooked? I'll tell you a story. I heard this from a Rav in Baltimore. Yeah, it was a Rav. He's a Rav, Baruch Hashem, with Talmud Chacham in Baltimore. He has a shoe. So he learned with Gedolim. He learned with he did Shimush with a lot of Gedolim, the Talmideh of Harav Vadia Yosef, all these things he did. So he learned Shechita with one of the Gedolei Teman in Eretz Israel. They used to go with him. He teach them what to do, how to shecht and everything. So he was telling us, he had a shiur on Mosai Shabbat, Be'iyun, on the halachot. He said once we went to a slaughterhouse, they went to shecht the animals over there. It was my turn on that day to try the first time to cut the head of the cow. I got very nervous. I don't know what to do. So now here there is an Arab guy over there. This Arab guy, he got nervous. What this guy doing? Cut it. Why is he standing there to cut it? You want to cut it. He want to cut it. They don't know what happened. The goy get involved. The Arab help the rabbi cut the animal. Now the question was, who cut it really? The goy did it or he did it? Allah, they go in the car, put the meat in the car. The goy says, I didn't do it. He did it. The Temani rabbi says, he's not a man, he's a goy. What did he did it? But you cannot trust this guy. So get in the car. They said, let's take the head of the animal to Hara Mordechai Eliyahu. Ask him what to do. They take the head of the animal to Hara Mordechai Eliyahu. Now they sit in the car. They have the meat. The goy start eating the meat. That's why he did it. They eat the raw meat. This is they see the Gemara. They eat. I don't know. So okay. So they go to Har Mordechai Eliyahu. Listen to this. How Gadol was Har Mordechai Eliyahu. Har Mordechai Eliyahu sees the head of the cow. He says, from the angle of the cutting, I could tell you the shochet did it, not the goy. It's kasher. Huh? No, shochet. No, that Rav. He was telling us the story in the Baltimore. See,
Just from looking on
just by looking the angle of the cut, you could say who did it. This is a gadlut. You see how Baki, how the professional he was, he could say, you see, but you see, but the point was, you see, a lot of people see now the Arabs, they eat the meat the way it is. Somebody told me, one of the chef, one of the people very famous, he knows how to cook. Certain part of the meat, they don't cook it completely. It had to be raw.
Also tartar. I don't know if you know what is tartar, but tartar is raw meat chopped very finely.
So that's the. So he says that over there.
But I thought it's a halachically problem.
Why?
I don't know. That's what I thought. That you eat meat.
Salting, you mean?
No, not salted. That's for sure. But
no, even it's not salted. Halacha is if your meat is not salted, if you wash the blood on the top, you could eat it.
Right away, you don't need to cook.
Right.
So you can eat rare steak.
If it's not health reasons, I don't know health reasons. But so the blood is assured to be eaten. The blood inside comes back and go back in. But if you wash it under the water and eat it raw, no problem. You could do it, no problem. So over here, if you have in your fridge raw meat, according to Shulchan Aruch, no mukse. According to others, these days nobody eats it. It's gonna be the mukse. So I have to be careful. It happens all the time. You want to take out something from the freezer. You put the challah in the freezer. You put some food, in the freezer. So I have to be very careful when it comes to the halachot of the mukse. So you say, I'm not talking about the halachot mukse over here. We're talking about the borer over here. Okay, let's see.